Hello and welcome back to Transport Fever 2, the UK modded series. Thank you very much for joining me in today's video for episode 100. I have been doing this, at least this series, for 100 episodes. That equates to over 300 hours of game time, including the time lapses, things off camera, pause times, fixing mods, making sure trains are running properly, setting up timetables, all of that kind of stuff, and a whole bunch of testing that I've done that may not have been in the videos, plus of course all the video time that you see. So even at 100, with 100 episodes, if we approximate each episode to be 45 minutes, you're looking at 75 hours worth of footage right there, without any of the time lapsing. And then of course the time lapses sometimes took 3-4 hours, and that was combined into a single hour video. So yes, there has been a lot of work that has gone into this. So for episode 100, what I thought I would do is I thought I would go around the entire map and we would do ride-alongs on every single passenger line that is currently in service on this map. Now this is going to take a while. This is definitely going to take a long time, so make sure you strap in and stay tuned. I will commentate along the way, perhaps not a great deal, but certainly I'll commentate a little bit, and then perhaps fast forward a little bit through stations as well, because sometimes we just sit around. And I think the best place to perhaps start will be on this train that is leaving the station right now, so make sure you stay tuned. Alright, here we are on the first of our journeys. So for this one, what I think I shall do is I shall run this from... let's run this from here to Early. Let's do that. We shall run this from here to Early, and then... or should I just run it all the way around to West Bromwich? No, we'll run this from here to Early, and then we'll run a line... oh, this is going to be a difficult one to figure out. Then we could run the line to Lichfield, and then down to New Romney, and then from New Romney we'll have to catch one back up to Lichfield, and then that will go all the way across to Bentham. We could then jump over to Alford, come back from Alford back to Berwick-upon-Tweed, and then to Ollerton, and then from Ollerton go to Croydon, follow the line all the way up from Croydon all the way to Bracknell. Am I then missing a line? I may be missing a line somewhere. But take that all the way up to Bracknell, and then go across from Bracknell to Attleborough on our new line, and then from there go to... where could we go to from there? Does this get rid of the HUD? No, it doesn't. Then I guess we could take from Attleborough, we could come down to Barnstable, and then up to West Bromwich, and that could be the end of that. So here we go. Make sure, well, I say make sure you stay tuned. Hopefully you enjoy this massive ride along. And of course, moving forward, the next set of episodes are all going to be further building, finishing up the passenger lines as we currently have them. So there's a lot to do in the southern side of the map, and then a whole bunch of freight is going to happen. We shall be moving out of the Victorian era eventually. Perhaps I think after this I shall fast forward a couple of years. We'll go over to perhaps 1900 or something. Speeds are going to increase. Things are going to start changing. A lot of buildings are needing to go in. And yes, there is a lot that is just going to happen. What I should do is I should perhaps, is it ZX? Perhaps I should just do this. Just make it a little lower. There we go. I think that's maybe a slightly better angle. And then of course we can look around as and when we want to. So for example, we have this road here. Currently nobody's using the road, but I'm sure in the future that road shall be in use. The anti-clockwise service going past right there, same colour. The northern circular route as it is. That line comes in from Bentham. That is a train that we are going to be catching at some point. Slight dev on the brakes there as we go through the tunnel and across the points. Hopefully everybody is having a lovely Tuesday if you're watching this on the day it comes out, and if you are not, a lovely day regardless. Decelerating to 35 miles per hour for the gradient, and then the sharp corner where we go over that arched iron bridge, which I do think looks rather splendid, especially with the other bridges alongside it that are similar or have a similar style, though the archways on those bridges are underneath as opposed to on top. And they are, well, one's a railway bridge, the other one is a road bridge. Slight bump there that perhaps I shall look into figuring out at some point. And of course there is so much to be built over here, and so much for my graphics card to be destroyed on, which really could happen. There is a high chance that I will be able to absolutely wreck my graphics card in doing some of this. Only 6 passengers currently on board from Barnstaple, which is not great, but perhaps more shall jump on board over here. Yes, we now have 8. This is not a very profitable train, that is for certain. Speaking of trains and profit, there is another train just ahead, which will be waiting, which is just waiting for the train on the opposite platform, platform 4, to exit the station, and then that shall make its way in. This train is currently 1/4 full. And there we go, that signal is showing clear, so that train is going to make its way into the platform. Now we did have a clear signal. There we go, it is clear. Gates are closing. And we are good to go. Coming into a 70 mile per hour zone now from the 50. And I think this was the first bit of track that I seriously detailed with a lot of depth. I remember reworking the roads a little, trying to add all of these trees, the signal box, a farmhouse somewhere on the side, each one of these bushes, tried to paint the ground a little bit better. What else did I try to do? I remember placing individual grass. In fact, there they are. You can just see them on the opposite side. Individual clumps of grass, just to give it that realism. And I think it sort of works. It isn't perfect, but it does certainly work in some sort of a fashion. And at the end of the day, that is pretty much all I'm going to be able to do. I do not think I'm going to be able to get this absolutely perfect all the time. Although I think once that road is busy, this should look pretty cool. I think anyway. That's an express train going past. That will not be stopping at West Mersey. And we will be catching the express train back from Croydon when it comes to it, simply because it will just be faster. It will then be a 25-minute journey back to Bracknell. Although I may skip the little period where we are stopped at stations for a few minutes, just to make that a little bit shorter. This is the longest straight section of track I believe I have on the entire network, at least at this point in time. Perhaps later in time I shall have more straight track like this, but for now this is the straightest piece of track that I have. Hence why this section is 70 miles per hour, and pretty soon I shall probably bring that up to 80, 90, 100. We've got a train there and we've got a train on that side, so we've got the circular service there, and then that would have been the train I wanted to catch to Lichfield. Bother. Well, what I shall have to do is wait for that. I shall have to wait for the next train to arrive. Alternatively, I could take this to West Brom, or take this all the way around to Barnstaple, then go up to Bracknell, bring the Bracknell one all the way down. I shall have to see. I shall have to figure it out. And here we are arriving at Ely Station. The next train is the 1542 service from West Mersey, calling at West Bromwich, Barnstaple. Oh, and that's it, and West Mersey. Is that all these trains call at? That is a bit of an annoyance. Well, let's jump off this train now. See how much actually jump on board it. At this point, there is a little bit more, and let's have a look at where our next train is going to be. Oh, well, this train is currently waiting here, so that means there is another train on the line coming back, which is this one here. So we could catch that all the way to New Romney. Yes, I think we could do that. So this train will be the next one we catch. Let's go ahead and fast forward this bit then. And whilst we are fast forwarding it, we can sit and watch some trains coming in and out of the stations. He says, as there are no trains now coming in and out of said stations. Well, why have you done that to me? Wait, I hear a train. That one is leaving. Never mind. Any other trains? No, apparently not. What I could do is I could sit. Where could I sit for this, so that we will see when the train arrives? I guess I could just sit here, and that will give me a pretty good view of when the train arrives. So let's just sit here for a while and just wait for the next train. So far, nothing. Perhaps perhaps I should increase the number of trains I have going around everywhere. Although I do hear something. Definitely hear something. Here comes a train. And is it the train I want? It is. It is the train I want. We did not have to wait very long at all to see that train ready to go. So let's go ahead and jump on board this particular one. Thank you, autosave, for ruining that. Of course it would do that. So we've got another side tank engine here. Anytime now. Come on, autosave. There we go. Right, once this train turns around, I shall move it into a normal speed, or a more normal speed. And here we go. Next train. So this line has had a little bit of, a few changes at the junction, but for the most part the line is a single track branch line that does not really do much. It services this train, and then slightly further up there is another train that's serviced just on a little branch to Lichfield, or from Lichfield going to West Mersey. And if you're wondering why I have this crossover in this fashion, the reason I've done that it goes over is just in case there is another train wanting to come into the platform from the other side, so it just gives it a little bit of space. This track is a slow track with a maximum speed of, as you saw on the speed board, a speed of 40 miles per hour. This bridge was the first bridge I detailed. It does sort of show, I guess. It isn't too bad, but still, the other bridges I have detailed are somewhat better. But it still works, as it goes over a couple of farms and the road, which you can just see just there. That road goes off into the distance into those hills, which funnily enough we go round towards as well. I think we go under those hills, or at least part of that hill. And this is where the track turns into a single track and we sit here and wait. And for the wait period I will just fast forward. But it isn't too bad overall. In fact, what I could do is I could look at taking a screenshot whilst I'm waiting of this wait period. Now that wouldn't work, so it'd have to be right up against the, right up here. There we go. Perhaps something along these lines? Maybe? That isn't terrible. I think this is perhaps a little better. Or I could do this. There we go. Because then when the train comes around the corner and starts going across, that is when I shall take this screenshot. Now that train should be here momentarily. Normally it does not take all too long for the trains to pass through this, into this loop. But of course it isn't a line that is extremely busy, so there is no point in me double tracking it. It just means a bit of a wait. And once I start increasing the speed of the lines, of course the weight should, in theory, reduce. But then, with the speed increasing, I may even drop the number of trains running on this line. So there is that to also consider. Here comes the train. And at pretty high speed, of course, but it isn't quite as high speed as it looked. Take a screenshot right there. Jump on board. And we are back on board. There we go. And I can press H to sound the horn or blow the whistle. Now this seems a little fast. There we go. That is better. So we cut in a little into a bit of a gorge. I need to build a bridge across there. That would be, it would just give it that little bit extra detail that I think it really needs. The little bridges and the like. Everything else here is really starting to look good. It really does look good. Trees, farmland, bushes, fences. Perhaps more trees required on the borders. Yes, I think more trees required on the borders would probably be a good shout. And again, just here, having another small bridge across this area would really work wonders. This area could do with a little bit more in the way of detail, but we have a tunnel coming up, so into the tunnel we go. And the other side of the tunnel, I believe, would be Lichfield. Well, there's a little bit of a windy bit, and then Lichfield. I think. Yes, I believe that is how I had this network laid down. In the meantime, whilst you are watching this and hopefully enjoying it, please do let me know what other things you would like to see in Transports Fever 2 with the UK modded series. What kind of things would you like to see? What kind of trains would you like to see? There is a plan. I do have a plan for how I'm going to do the later era. So, and for this I'm talking the 1980s, 1990s, early 2000s. That whole era, in fact 60s onwards. I do have a pretty good plan on what I want to do with the trains, but if you have any ideas as to what else I could do, then please do let me know, especially in terms of detailing. If there are details that you think I could put in, do let me know and I shall try to do that. Obviously I've seen the detailing about having wagons placed around everywhere. I had the idea accidentally of having locomotives just driving around on their own. We've got the idea of a coaling platform. That is going to be a really big thing in the coming few episodes. So once I get a little bit more passenger routes done, a coaling platform is going to become a really big part of how I plan things out. Power stations are going to become a big part of it. So we're going to start with, of course, coal power, and then further on, perhaps when we reach the 70s, 80s, we may move on to a mixture of coal and gas or oil-fired power stations, something like that. Just something that I could do here. That crossing is incorrect. I feel like I've changed this crossing before. And I do think that these crossings seem to reset themselves. And the line you see that is joining from the left is going to be a line that we do go on to well, actually very soon. We will catch this to New Romney and then jump back to Lichfield, catch that line over. So that is something we will experience. Again, I guess town-wise, how do I want to build the towns out? How do I want to try to increase the population of the towns? All of that is something I need to think about, and I need to work out what the best way of doing that is going to be. Whether that is forcing population by building houses, but unfortunately what that is going to result in is going to be less in the way of cars. Now, in a sense, that is pretty good, but I would definitely like to see some cars in and around the towns. It would be rather barren if they were not. Also, the station needs a change of tracks. I've just noticed that. So that is going to have to be on the list. Lichfield station does need a change of tracks. And time to pick up some passengers. How many are we picking up? How many were we dropping off? Dropped off all but 2. And we have more than half a train full right there. So that is not too bad. That's quite a lot going to New Romney. Oh, are we going to pass the... Do we go past the Weetabix factory here? I think we may. Wait, where is the Weetabix? Oh no, the Weetabix factory's out that way, isn't it? Can we see it from here? Unless I'm on the wrong island. No, it's Shepton, isn't it? Shepton Mallet has the Weetabix factory. This is the wrong part of the map. Oh, that was a mistake on my part, but it just shows how much detail has gone into this, and how certain things do look a little bit like other things, and that is perhaps not such a good thing. Back onto a single track railway, and this should be single track pretty much all the way to New Romney now. Again, we are in a gorge of some sort. The idea here was I needed to keep the track as level as possible, because when we get to New Romney, it is a bit of a descent. So there was no point me doing a gentle climb all the way up the hill, only to find myself into a rather steep descent. Thought I would rather try to keep it as flat as possible, and therefore make the descent as gentle as possible, and then the subsequent incline going in the opposite direction. Oh, we have some leaves sticking out from something. Now, if I remember correctly, we start the drop here, and we go over an embankment, and we've got the iron mine over to the right hand side along with the road. Yep, there it is. This was an interesting bit to detail as well. It does really work. The map does, I think the map does overall have a fair amount of detailing. There's the iron mine. That is going to get hooked up at some point. That is definitely going to get hooked up at some point, and that is going to make this entire area, it is going to change the landscape of this area, this entire area. Because suddenly there is going to be a lot more freight going in and out of that section. And therefore there may be more train lines crisscrossing. It depends on how I want to do it. So we may even get a train line to go underneath this train line here. I'm fairly sure that was not that type of signal as well, or crossing sign. I'm a little bit concerned that some of them seem to be resetting. Unless I am genuinely missing them and then I am losing my marbles, but I do not think so. I feel like I have changed certain ones before and then they have changed back, and that may be one of them. This bit here is just essentially cutting through a forest. Again, because we were descending slowly, I didn't want to lift and then drop down and then lift and then drop down again. I thought this would be perhaps a better way of doing this. Again, your opinions in the description box. I was going to say on a postcard, but in the comments box, not the description box, in the comments box, please do provide your opinions. And I shall very much read them, acknowledge them, and see if there is anything I can do. I need a crossing there. So there are a few things missing. As I go around each one of these lines, I'm going to notice a few things that are missing. So once we get to New Romney, we'll just jump over to Lichfield again, ready to catch a different train. And here we are at New Romney. Interestingly enough, there is across the river, we have other railways that are connected, but this railway cannot get to them. Slow down a little. And there we go. Entering the station at a reasonable speed and then continuing to decelerate up to, but not quite at the buffers. Never mind, this one is going right up to the buffer. Actually go to the buffer. That is to the buffer, and I kind of think I need to take a screenshot of that at the buffer. Maybe I should just get it to push it on the way back. That would be interesting. Right, let's go over to Lichfield and see where the next train that we want to catch is. The next train we want to catch is going to be... Is that on its way in? I believe it is. It is on its way in. So that shall be here in a moment. And then once that is here, we shall catch that train and head into another direction, or the way we want to go. In the meantime, I'm just going to change this, because that was annoying. In fact, I just need to keep an eye on this train. Just keep an eye on that whilst I ensure that things that need to be changed are changed. There we go. That and that. That is waiting for a free path. Ah, I see. I do see what it is waiting for. And then I think it is going to get stuck here as well. If I've got this correct. Unless it goes straight. No, there we go. I thought so. It pulls into this particular platform over here. So let's go ahead and jump on board this train now and get ourselves set up with this one. Now I could, if I wanted to, go from here. In fact, perhaps I should. Should we do an entire video just from here? I'm not too sure if that would be a good view. Maybe we should just do it out like oh, that's not right. Maybe we should just go maybe out like this. I think that is perhaps the best I'm going to manage here. Unfortunately, we've got this clipping issue that I cannot seem to, just because of the camera style, I cannot seem to get rid of, which is why I'm sort of doing this over the top of the cab, over the top of the cab look, or over the top of a tank look. Anyway, heading back, and of course we've already seen this part of the track, but we shall now cross over. Well, this is interesting. We actually get to see a little bit more in the way of... In fact, that has got to be a photo opportunity, surely. Surely that's a photo opportunity. Because of how this has worked out. I think what I need to do is do... Nope. Do this. There we go. That is not too bad as a potential photo anyway. Plenty of photos happening in this particular run through. Oh, and now we're going to wait again. That's what the horn sounds like on this one. And we shall sit and wait. As I said, I will fast forward through this. In fact, that isn't too long to fast forward at all because, well, there goes the train. So this journey will take us all the way to Bentham, and then from there we will go down to Alford. From there we'll go to Ollerton, jump to Croydon all the way back up to Bracknell, and then from Bracknell across to Asselborough, and then down to Barnstaple, and then around to West Bromwich, and probably end back in Ely, which seems to be a focal point of a lot of my videos. They seem to converge either on Ely or Berwick-upon-Tweed, but I suppose that is just how things have panned out. And I have no aversion to that. Perfectly fine. In the meantime, I did want to, I should probably read something, or I don't know. So there's no point to me just talking about what we've got here. You can clearly see on the screen, so let me, I don't know, read. What should I read about though? This is the problem, because there are topics that I could perhaps talk about, plenty of topics, but they may not be interesting to these two people. So what do I do? That is the big question. Let me have a look. Let me see what is on my phone. Let's see if there's anything interesting on my phone that people in general will be interested in. There's another crossing that needs to be fixed. Let's see. Anything related to trains, perhaps? Not particularly, no. I've got some things on science, got stuff on space, got stuff on computers, mathematics, chemistry, electronics, physics, astrophysics, rocket science, calculus, trigonometry, algebra, computing, lots about computers, different languages, all of that kind of stuff, game design. No, none of these are going to be useful. Space. The final frontier. These are the voyages of the Nevermind. Yes, I genuinely do not know what to talk about. I doubt many people would be interested in most of the stuff I've got here. Oh well. Unfortunately, there isn't much to discuss. Now, I'm still not happy about this particular station. The fact that it is sunken in is fine, but well, you can see the problems that I have with the station, even at this particular point in time. I think I would want to replace the station, but I need a station that does have a platform at ground level, and then you can build steps going down. Unfortunately, I do not think there is a way to do that just yet, aside from this. So yeah. Well, let's continue on our way. And now our next stop is Bentham, or Bentham. I still don't know how to pronounce it. In the meantime, I'm actually looking at a different game at the moment. Just wondering. I do have a Beam NG drive coming up on the channel, so if you are interested in that, please do subscribe. This is a very relaxed, chilled out, no fuss, no frills, just taking leisurely railway journeys across the map. Perhaps I'm like, well, who's that person that does railway journeys? There's a few people that I know that have done railway journeys across the world for television. Joanna Lumley, she's done some. Griff, I don't know his name, is it? I don't know what Griff's full name is. Chris Tarrant has done some. So, yes, for those people who do not know these names, Chris Tarrant is a very, very famous radio DJ, presenter, children's TV presenter, game show presenter, very, very well known. I actually did not know that he started on radio. I think I used to listen to him on Capital, or whatever it was back then. Was it called Capital FM still back in the 90s? I think it might have been. And it was just in London. And I didn't know that was Chris Tarrant. The first time I knew of Chris Tarrant was Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? And I think I saw reruns of a children's show called Tiswas. And that is how I knew of Chris Tarrant. Very smart man. And yeah, pretty good at what he does. Joanna Lumley, I'm not sure. I believe she's an actress. I do not know, but she certainly does a lot of documentaries. Very good at that as well. And Griff, I don't know. Again, I have no idea about Griff. Right, this is a very, very long bridge. Completely straight section of track. Not quite on par with the length of the straight section that we have going between West Mersey and Ely, but this is still a fairly straight section of track as I cross the river, and quite a big river it is as well. This is a substantial sized river. Realistically, this is why I've been considering halving the size of this river, because halving this will actually make it a little bit more realistic. But oh well, I shall have to see as the time comes and decide from there. Now this bit is somewhat uphill, and I believe this is where I first started putting a lot of different flower fields. So there is a lavender, obviously we've got the wheat fields as you can see. We also have a lavender field coming up close to the time. Oh, thank you, I would say, for getting in the way. Just waiting for this one to go. There we go. There is still a substantial amount of time, by the way, on this video left. So do get yourself comfortable. Definitely get yourself comfortable for this. I could do all sorts of things in this video. I could read about, I could read the latest news or something like that. Let's go to science and tech news. So I'm recording this the day before it is released. So let me find some science and tech news and just read it just for the sake of it, because there really isn't much else I can do here. Ah yes, this one should be interesting for a number of people. Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, Uranus, Mars and the Moon will align in an arc across the evening sky on Monday, with some visible to the naked eye. This is often called a planetary parade and will be visible after sunset in the west. A good view of the horizon and clear skies will offer the best chance of spotting the alignment. Last summer, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter and Saturn came together in a rare planetary conjugation. To the naked eye, even from a bright city, Jupiter, Venus, the Moon and Mars should be easily visible. Uranus should be visible with a medium-sized telescope, and Mercury is that added challenge for the very determined, said astronomer Jake Foster from the Royal Observatory, Greenwich. He said that such alignments were very particular to our perspective from Earth. The planets aren't aligned right now. They are all spread out across the solar system. But just from our perspective, every once in a while they will get close enough to each other in the sky that we're able to see quite a few at once. Give yourself the best shot at spotting them by getting away from any bright city lights, such as the sun is going down. Go somewhere with a clear, unobstructed view. You will need to be observing early in the evening because Mercury and Jupiter will quickly disappear over the horizon. The easiest way to know whether you're looking at planets or stars is by looking at what type of light they are emitting. Stars twinkle, but planets don't. So if you are seeing a bright light that is steady and not flickering or twinkling and not blinking, because that might be a plane, then you are almost certainly looking at one of those planets. I've been seeing them for months, to be perfectly honest. Right, we are at Bentham. Let's go ahead and get to where we need to go next. So I'm going to jump down to Alford, and we'll just have to jump on this train here. We're going to skip just a little bit at the start, just because, well, the train has just left. And we're going to take this one all the way to Ollerton now. So there we go. If you want to see the planets, this is of course in the UK, but it should be visible pretty much across the world. So do go outside and have a look for these. So I've got photographs of Saturn with its moons. That was an interesting one. So I took a photograph of Saturn and managed to get 5 of its moons. Last night I was looking out and you can see Venus right next to the moon. As same as with the other night, Jupiter's been wandering around for quite some time. So yes, there is a lot going on out in space. Oh wait, that should probably have some sort of echo or something, shouldn't it? Space. Wait, I have something that could give me an echo. Although I have no idea how to actually do it. Right, perhaps this will do it. Space. No, maybe? I have no idea. Oh, it'd help if I switch the effects on. Space. No? Still nothing? Really? Have I really got nothing? Oh, okay, we went across something there. Perhaps I have to switch the FX return on. I think we have an echo now. Space. There we go. That was a lot of hassle for a lot of mess. Oh, this is a lovely view. Look at that. So now we are joining up to the main line. Plenty of whistling going on, just because there's lots of crossing points. I should probably have those whistle boards slightly further back, but there we go. We do have to slow down for the join, but we are cleared into Ollerton. Into Berwick. At least the Berwick approach. And this is quite a serious approach here that I have built, because there is a lot going on here on both sides of it. So both the north side, which is where we are currently, and the south side. Oh, look, clocks. Does anybody need shoes? Now Berwick is a busy station, so we'll see what we can do here. Look at that. Look at all the trains leaving and arriving. It's excellent. And that is going to be one of the trains we catch at some point. The express train. Because the stopping service will just take too long. This is the 603 train to Ollerton. I'm not sure why those clocks are reading that time. I was looking at that clock, which is actually reading my system time, which is kind of a cool thing. But there we go. Right, you should not be waiting too long here. Oh wait, no, you do have... No, you don't. I was going to say, do you have a timetable? You do. Why is there a palm tree there? Who invited that palm tree into the UK to do that? Time to peel off the main line immediately. So we were only on the main line for a matter of a few hundred yards. And we peel off. Something is very strange with the normal maps at the moment. Everything looks in very, very sharp relief. Ah yes, this bit of track. This is where I decided I would try to do the most extreme amount of detailing I possibly could, and realistically probably could not do this again anywhere else on the map. This would just take far too long. But it does look very good. In fact, by the time I got to this point, I couldn't even put those bushes in. nevertheless, it still works. Now we shall see if we will be held up by the freight train, which comes across from the left and continues into Ollerton, because Ollerton station is both a passenger and freight station. Where is that train? Not there. Perhaps it's further up on the line. Looking out that way, across a bunch of fields again, I think I need to add some colour to those. A couple of wheat fields wouldn't go amiss. And I think up here that looks excellent. That is one of the places where our coal is going to come from. But yes, I think a couple of wheat fields would not go amiss here. This sort of detailing I like. There's the freight train. Oh, H for... there we go. I was going to say that H for horn didn't work. This sort of detailing I think does work. It is sort of... it isn't extreme amounts of trees everywhere, but it does give it some sort of decent amount. So for example, I've got a line of trees on this side, but not on the other side, but I've got some bushes on that side, and then the odd tree here and there. So that is what I've been trying to do. And of course we have to have sheep. There's a field of lavender, which does work. Again, I think perhaps in the distance I need to put a couple of fields of wheat just to break up the green just a smidge. It is a little much. Unfortunately, this isn't a horn in which if you press it and hold it, it will give you an infinitely long horn. It is just a sound bite that is played at a specific time, unfortunately. But that is that. This line is one of the lines that shall be extending. So currently we are at buffers in Ollerton, and there are buildings on the opposite side, which is, to me, that is quite interesting, the way that this has all built out. That we've got buildings literally on the other side of the station. There was just enough room to do that, and it's a very industrial area, as you can see. This is very, very industrial, which is also quite cool. So yes, this is this line will be continuing in that direction fairly soon. Speaking of that direction, let's go ahead and follow this all the way to Croydon and hope that there is a train at the station. There is not. Well, rubbish. Where is the nearest train? I would like to catch a train. Where are you? You're in the wrong spot. You're in the wrong spot. You're in the wrong spot. Ah, this one shall be arriving. This one shall be arriving sometime soon. Let's fix this as well. I need to rename that Croydon. There we go. So that one is currently coming into Berwick-upon-Tweed. Is that where I saw it entering? Or is it still quite a distance away? Ah, it is still quite a distance away, that isn't it? Just got the wrong train, didn't I? There it is. Is that the one? That isn't it either. Where is it? Are you it? No. Are you in the station? Are you going in the wrong direction? You are. No, that's not it. Where are you? Hello? Train? Wait, it is... Oh, I see. Oh, this is going to take a while. Is there any other train we could catch in the meantime? Not that I know of. Okay, well what we shall do is, whilst we are waiting for said train to arrive, so it's that one, right? Whilst we are waiting for said train to arrive, let's go ahead and start adding some of these houses that I was going to add. Houses? Houses, there we go. So, let's have a look. Could I add these over here? Down the main road? No. Something's changed about these houses. Something has very much changed. And, should I use these houses? Should I use these houses? Let's use these houses for here. This is the first of some of the new housing being built. Actually, no. Over here, let me use these ones still. And let's have a look at how this is all going to work out. Roof colour, we'll do that. Brick, yep, that's fine. Fence, yeah, we're not going to do that. We're not going to enable fence or garden. We will, however, enable some population. Annoyingly, I'm not going to be able to add a second. That is going to be annoying. In that case, should I just go for these and just take the hit? Probably should. That back part is going to cause some serious issues. I'm not happy about that. Yeah, these have changed. They are a lot more detailed now, for some reason. Is that a slightly wrong angle? I can fix that. Let's get rid of the population for some of these now. So I'm just doing this whilst waiting for... Obviously we are waiting for the other train to... Can I stick another one in there? No. Just waiting for another train to arrive. There we go. Now the question is, could I risk... I could just fit these at the back. Just about. May just fit. Ah, no. They will not because of the brick. Can I get rid of... No. Okay. So I may have messed that up just a little. That's for sure. But, oh well. No, that's not how you spell Victorian. There we go. Well, that isn't what I wanted. UK house. Oh. No. No, that isn't what I wanted either. What was this? It's just a house. That's all I want. There we go. Let's just try and add a few more of these then, whilst we're at it. Let's do this. Add some population on this one, perhaps. Do that. That train is on its way. Perhaps do this. There we go. And then enable population here. There is a curve on this bit, so I shall have to be aware of that. In fact, I can leave a gap. Leave a gap, do this, because gaps are something that we do have. Do that, and then do this. Oh no. Okay, we'll do this. Turn that back a little. And then turn that one in a little. And can I just fit another one in here? I cannot. So that is... Oh, that is that. I suppose that is a reasonable job done. Did that have population? Yes, it did. Here comes the train coming up, so we can grab that and we shall head back, and this shall take about another 20 minutes, I would say. So yes, we need to be aware of that and how that is going to pan out as well. And then once we've done that, we have just the shortest bit to go. I might do this bit perhaps at 2 times speed. I'm not entirely sure. It's just it is taking a bit of time now, and these things do take a substantial amount of time. I could turn this area into like water and a little feature and everything. Never thought about that. This whole area, we could put a car park here. This could be a great station. There is a lot that we could do here. A lot. And then out here we could put smaller houses. There's the train. Let's go ahead and hop on board. And as soon as this is sorted, that's one's horn. Right, it is going to have 108 people on board, surely. Why does it only have 61 people on board? What is going on? Oh, is it because it's in that stop section? There we go, now it says 108 and off we go. That looks really good. In fact, I think I need to take a screenshot right there, if possible. Here we go. Yep, that could work as a potential screenshot for. In fact, that could be the screenshot for the episode. I'm not entirely sure though. Anyway, back on the train we go, and let's ride this all the way. Now, in the interests of speeding things up, I am considering really pushing this a little. But I'm not sure, because so how much do we have to go? We have this, we have the journey across to go. That is going to take a while. So we've seen this bit before, so I shall just do this at 2 times speed. Unfortunately, it's just going to take a little bit too long. Although I suppose that being said, we are missing a lot of stuff at that speed. I guess I only have to leave it at this speed. This is going to be one long video. But there we go. This is certainly not going to be as long as the final video I make on this series. Unless I split that into 2 or 3 parts, because then we will be doing ride-alongs everywhere. There is one thing I do really want to do. I want to be able to build up the network and keep it in this era, but also I want to be able to go into future eras. So I suppose doing all of this right now is probably a good thing. Yeah, doing all of this right now is probably a good thing, because we may not get to see these sorts of trains on these tracks doing these ride-alongs ever again. This bit does look quite nice though, because you do have the different colours. Oh, and cows! And lavender fields. There just is a nice mix of colour, very nice mix of colours here. And the Scots pines that I had to build the fence around because of how they were placed. Yes, I had to do that a few times. In fact, you can see it's here as well. It does give it a little bit of character. The fact that I've had to do that, it does make it quite natural. Like, oh, this was placed, and then the fence was placed, and then they just had to make some adjustments. Okay, we are at Downham Market, so that's one. This is a busy station. I feel like I need to increase the number of passenger services going to and from this area. I think that is something that is going to happen. Right, so let's go ahead and fast forward this bit, because we are just going to sit here for a few seconds, so may as well fast forward this as best as I can. Again, it looks like it is going to be 108 passengers on board. Not ideal. Far from it. And there's the 108. And let's continue over to Berwick-upon-Tweed. Oh, houses are building up. Wait, why are they doing that? Those houses, those are terrible. It isn't that era. I need to block, I think I'm going to try and block that entire era anyway. Ah, there's another passenger train going past. Come on, are you going to accelerate? You can do it, you can accelerate, come on. I know this is a little bit uphill, but you can do it. We do not want to be sitting at this speed forever. There we go. Now it is accelerating. Oh, I forgot I put a signal box here. I'm not sure that signal box quite suits the style though. It's a little bit too bright. Perhaps needs to be a little bit dirtier. And then I put this. This is a coaling tower? Water tower? I have no idea. I put something there because I was trying to give it some sort of depth, I suppose, and that hasn't really worked. What comes from there? Oh, that is the freight line that goes across. This is the area we are now in. So this train really does not pick up speed, given where we are. In fact, that train right there, that is the train I'm talking about. That's a good whistle. That is a very good whistle. And that of course goes over to that distribution yard that we built many episodes ago now. In fact, I have no idea what episode I built that on, but it was quite some time ago. We have a coal mine that is unused at this point in time, over to the right hand side. And of course, as I said, the distribution yard over to the left hand side. Which does look quite good. Obviously, eventually this whole area will become like a massive distribution yard, and it is going to look, I think it is all going to look really nice. I'm just a little bit concerned. I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to get trains that are 600-700 yards long going around. That is going to be quite a long train. So yeah, there is that to think about. And here we go, coming up to Berwick upon Tweed. We will obviously skip this little bit here as well. And of course, being the express train, we are in the middle tracks. That is how I sort of saw this or envisaged this all being. That the centre track is the express tracks and the outside tracks are the stopping service. Could have done it the opposite way around, of course. Could still do that, could swap between the two at different stations. Just make them slalom, go in and out, in and out, in and out. Now, not many people here, I will say that. So we've dropped off a substantial amount of people. We have 27 currently on board. This is where we wait for some time. So obviously I've got this on fast forward. But yes, we wait here for quite a substantial amount of time. And I think this is the area in which we lose money, because there are just too many trains that go roughly in the same direction for this to be profitable. Oh, auto save. I mean, this just shows how long this video is, that we've had 3 autosaves. Granted, one was at the start, or somewhere near the start, and that was just because I messed up with setting it all up. So, yes, that I guess doesn't quite count. But, yeah. Apparently got an email just now from Western Digital with a flash sale. Blink and you might miss it. Save up to 50% off. And then they say to me, power on with Red. Save big when you buy 2 Western Digital Red Pro 20 terabyte capacity. 2 of them for £855 and 8 pence. Now honestly, as great as 2 20 terabyte NAS drives would be, that's a little bit much. Here we go, time to leave. Next stop, Ely. I really should probably just unsubscribe from this. In fact, I think I will. Do I want to receive future promotional emails? No. Unsubscribe. Oh, actually, once or twice a month, maybe. Maybe. No, unsubscribe. Just unsubscribe completely. I like this email, this message at the end of it. Sorry to see you go. You have successfully unsubscribed from our mailing list. You may continue to receive emails for up to 72 hours. You will continue to receive account-related emails, including emails containing payment, security and legal information. But I like the sorry to see you go. I haven't gone anywhere. I purchased my stuff from you and then I didn't do anything else afterwards. So that can just be deleted straight away. And do I need that email? No. There we go. Job done. And we shall now continue up to Ely. Now this is definitely taking a while. Far longer than I was thinking it would take, but I guess that is what happens when you have such a long video. And of course, I'm not sure what to talk about. For this entire time I have been rambling and just blabbering on. We've talked about space, we've talked about planet conjugations, we've talked about a little bit about trains, we've talked about mailing lists, we've talked about BeamNG Drive. Yeah, this is a very long video. And this is probably why I do not do live streams. Just doing videos this long, I mean, I guess I do have plenty of things I could talk about, but perhaps nothing of any substantial amount of interest. So to do that is, I would need something to constantly talk about, or a community to engage with for a substantial amount of time. Just live streaming just would be really difficult. I may try some though. Maybe I'll try some over the next couple of weeks, 1 or 2 live streams, see if I can get anywhere with them. Maybe. I'll have to see. I shall have to see. Continuing up, I think I could lower this entire embankment at some point, because we are pretty high up over the road, and obviously with the new tools we have, we should be able to drop that a little. Not a lot, just a little. Will we see another train? Will we see a freight train on this side? We've only seen, what, 2 freight trains so far? And we have been in the vicinity of some freight trains, and we have only seen 2. Unfortunately, after this, we have another opportunity to see at least 1 more freight train, if not 2. But first we've got to get to Italy, which is going to take a little bit of time. Now, I will probably fast forward the bit over the bridge, because the bridge is quite boring. So once we get to the bridge, I shall go into fast forward. In fact, let's just fast forward from now. Yes, this bridge is rather boring. It is a really boring bridge. I need to do a little bit more with this area. Just the land around it is boring, the bridge is boring. Just, yeah, everything about it is just boring. We are going to slow down to 50, I believe. Short see. Any second now. There it is. There's the 50 corner. And we are back, and now we have a little bit more in the way of interesting stuff. As we approach West Mersey, and we are going to plough straight through West Mersey and continue on to Italy. This train does not stop. The train now approaching platform 3 does not stop at this station. Now that's not what they say. What's it? The train now... No, it's approaching, yes. The train now approaching platform 3 will not be stopping at this station. Please stand well away from the edge of the platform. I think they say that. Something along those lines. Of course, I suppose tannoy systems did not really exist in 1891. Oh, there's a bit of barrier fence left. Interesting. Train waiting for us to... I heard that. Oh no, it's underneath. No, it's that one. There it is. Waiting for us to go through. Please stand well away from the platform edge. That's platform 2. Platform 2. And this is why I should not do any tannoy work. Only pass through at 54 miles per hour. Not very quick. Not very quick at all. Can this train not go any faster? I thought it could... No, there it goes. So I thought I had it that it could reach well over 60. We are currently in the 70 now. It is struggling to accelerate. That it is doing. Again, onto the really straight bits of track. Which we are on now. This track goes on for a little while. In fact, I'm just thinking, maybe this isn't the straightest bit of track. Maybe that bridge is a longer bit of straight than this is. Possibly. But I'm not entirely sure. This is another quite straight bit of track. This is the straight bit of track I was thinking about. but maybe the bridge is a longer bit of straight. I think I'm going to have to measure it. Plenty of trains though, plenty of trains about. It does seem a little bit realistic. I think I've tried to make it as realistic as possible, not overloading the trains and certainly not having them extremely sparse. So this is a busy section of track, so you will see a number of different trains. So for example, we have now seen 3 trains from 3 different lines going in the same direction, which I think would make sense, because you are not going to come across trains left, right and centre. If you are at a station, you'll be waiting for a while. If you're doing train spotting, you will be waiting for a while. But we definitely got faster than 60, which is great. Right, so let's speed this little bit up. Get this train into this platform. Oh, loads of people. Hello. I guess we make up a lot of the money here? I suppose so. Maybe. I'm not sure. Alright, for now we've just got to wait through this one. Oh, another train's arrived. And another train is leaving. That's one goes across, and then we've got... Oh, this is nice. This is very nice. So we've got the circular trains. I should have made them yellow, just like the circle line. Oh, you're going to wait for me to cross? Oh, how kind. How kind. I thought you might cross in front of me. Oh, maybe it's waiting for that one to come in. Never mind. Maybe... I'll just whistle. Oh no, that one is waiting for that one to go across. Okay, there's a bit of confusion here. Again, a very busy station area. And the first proper yard I made over here on the left-hand side. Still not great. Certainly is not great at all. I need to work on it at some point, but I shall have to see. But it isn't terrible, and that is the main thing. 97 of 108. That's a pretty full train. It's a train I would not like to be on. Not like to be on whatsoever. Now this bit, I guess we've seen this bit a couple of times before, so I'm just thinking, maybe in the interest of time, given how long this video is, I might just skip this bit, and we'll just go to the other train. So yeah, I do apologise for those people who may have been wanting to see this bit of it, but we've seen this plenty of times before. What I shall now do is jump on board. Do we have a train coming in? We do. We shall jump on board this train when it arrives. I guess in the meantime we could stay with this train. Oh no, we cannot, because it gets rid of... Never mind. We can stay with this train like so, whilst we're waiting. just in the interest of this has now been a nearly 1.5 hour video. That is pretty long. So yes, let's get on board the final train. Is it the final train? Maybe one train after this, and then we've seen all the rest of the bits. So I think that is where we'll end with the new train, which is right here. Oh, this is a different style completely. This is going to be a full train, and there's still people waiting. Okay, well that could be a bit of a problem. And we'll end, as I said, with this one. Now obviously this was a line that I had planned to get rid of. So the main line is over there where the bridge is. You can just see it on that side. But I was planning to get rid of this line, but instead have repurposed it to be a branch line. Which means that there are going to be some bushes on the side that you need to be whacked out of the way. Get a strimmer or something, or some garden shears, and start getting rid of it. You can see that's the other train line over the top, and we will just ease our way through this and continue. That's the freights line out that way. We've got the depot behind. There's the old abandoned line that we need to do a few things with. There's our new line. Loads going on. But here we go. And this is all brand new. Well, I say this is all brand. No, yes, this is all brand new because I've redone this whole section to be double track. So this is indeed brand new. It definitely was not like this before. And now we're going to wait. So I will fast forward this bit because, well, we need to. What are we waiting for? Oh, now I may have made a mistake. I may have made a mistake here with the signalling, and this is why you do ride-alongs as well, to figure out whether or not you've messed up. In this case, I may have messed up, though I'm not 100% certain. But there we go. It should be okay, I'm hoping. There we go, let's continue on our journey. Now this part is joining on to an older... Oh, I like this horn. It's just a little toot. Sounds like something definitely that you would hear from a tank engine. So this is all old. Perhaps I need to add some borders or something on this fencing. Wildlife guards, something like that. Because this is... Previously, obviously, this was just a freight line. Now it is also a passenger line. Okay, that crossing I'm fairly sure I changed. I'm fairly sure of that. Oh well. 50 miles per hour all the way is going to be our speed. This should not take too long because there isn't really that much of the map to go across. We are essentially going across the shortest part of the map, or the shorter side of the map. And once we get past the farm, there's a few farms to go. Then we'll cut through a hill, and then out on the other side, and then go past a lavender field, and that's it. I should probably... I like the horn on this thing. Now that one is going to go. This one is waiting to be, of course, filled up with grain, or whatever it is. I haven't yet decided what exactly this is going to be. Wheat, barley, cows, I don't know. Oh wait, it was the Kingsmill factory, wasn't it? So it's going to be, yeah, it's going to be grain, whole wheat. And then this is all brand new. So this all used to be farmland. In fact, this was the first right at the start of the map, when I started this map, this is the area that I first detailed. And I think I went quite overboard with it, and having toned it down, this area now looks like it is just too much colour, way too much colour. So I have been deleting bits here and there as time goes on, just to neaten things up, and I think that it is now looking a lot better than it was before, but still not great. This junction is okay. Maybe I did miss that one. This locomotive is capable of carrying or taking these carriages at 50 miles per hour whilst going uphill, so that is good. Although, as I've said that, I have a feeling it may just slow down ever so slightly, but still, this is fine. This is absolutely fine. Certainly, I think the detailing here is working quite well. Perhaps a little bit more. I could perhaps do a little bit more here and there, but overall, it is working quite well. We should be going into that area now where we're going to cut through the mountain. In fact, you can see the hill ahead of us, and a bit of a climb, and then the cut coming up. You can see the cut through the trees. And so if we do lose a little bit of speed, we'll shed it off here, I believe, with this uphill gradient. Yep, here we go. We didn't lose any speed, so that's pretty good. At this point, I was trying to make this as gentle as possible. I could have made it again go right the way up the top and then back down, but that would have, well, that just does not work for the railways, unfortunately. So you've got to come up with a balance, and this was the best balance I could find. We can actually see Attleborough ahead now, so it is coming up to the end of this video. So I think what I'm going to do is start doing my outro right now. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this 1 hour, 40 minutes of train ride-alongs, mostly, a little bit of building, but mostly train ride-alongs. If you did like this video, and if you have liked any of the videos before, any of the 100 or 99 of the videos, please remember to hit the like button on this video and those videos. Subscribe to the channel for more videos on Transport Fever 2, the UK modded series. Leave a comment in the comments box below letting me know your thoughts, your ideas, or if you just like the video, just please let me know in the comments box. I would really appreciate it. If you could do so and are able to do so, please do consider supporting me on Patreon. Link is in the description box. It is www.patreon.com/ECGadget. Your supports would be massively appreciated. It would really help me out and allow me to create videos like this and continue to do so. Also, you can find me on social media at ECGadget LB for both Instagram and Twitter, and lastly, my Discord server is also linked in the description box below. That is all from me, and I shall see you next time in Transport Fever 2, the UK modded series, for episode 101.